Okay, everybody.
She was going to do it.
Good evening. I'm going to call the regular city council meeting to order. It's Monday, October 24th. It is 6 o'clock. I'll do a roll call. Tom?
Here.
John?
Here.
Dar?
Here.
Pat? Here. Maureen?
Here.
Bailey?
Here.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, everyone. Okay, the first item on the agenda is public comments. City Council now receive public comments on any issue related to agenda items. Limited discussion by the council may take place. Hearing none, we'll move on. The next item is the consent agenda. It is the City Council minutes from October 10th. Anybody have anything to bring up about that?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion, a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. Next agenda is report of standing committees. Nothing for finance. Be Public Works Committee report.
I can take that. We had our Public Works Committee meeting this evening. Discussed the water rate study proposal, Locust Street design and specifications proposal. Got an update on well number 3. Talking about the financial timeline and some online training, and then we looked at some proposals from Wisconsin DOT on the State Highway 35 and 29 update project.
Okay, thank you. Next meeting for Public Work is to be determined. Planning Commission, next meeting is Monday, November 7th at 6. Parks and Public Property, want to do a committee report from the 17th?
Sure, I can do that. So for the meeting on the 17th, we toured a bunch of our parks and basically did a review of maintenance items that needed to be addressed. So the parks that we visited were St. Croix Bluffs, the non-motorized boat launch, the beach, Merkward Park, boat launch, Sunset, and Shane Park. And I think there will be some suggestions for the budget meeting potentially coming up. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. Next meeting will be Monday, November 21st at 5 o'clock. Nothing for license, ordinance, health and safety. Personnel committees, next meeting Wednesday, November 2nd at 5 o'clock. Next item, communications and new business. Public comments. City Council will receive public comments on any issue not related to the agenda. Limited discussion by the council may take place. However, no action will be taken on any item. Any public comments?
I just want to remind everybody, November 8th is the election, and we start in-person absentee voting tomorrow through November 4th, and we're here from 8 to 4:30 to accept those. So.
Okay.
I have a request from Lisa Johnson, and I think Bailey, she sent you an email as well. And she'd like to ask that the City Council, and this would go probably to the Parks Committee, would take a look at possibly allocating a dog park at the 12 acres that has been assigned to the city for the Great Rivers subdivision. So I don't know if that's a consideration, Bailey, if you were going to look at putting that maybe on a...
Not that park, but we've brought it up at different areas. So we can definitely discuss it at our next parks meeting and see where would be an appropriate place. I think out of town would probably be a better idea where we were thinking, but we can chat about it then.
And so it's going to be put on the agenda then, maybe
Sure.
on the next meeting? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Any other public comment? Okay, the next item is review of 2021 audit report.
We'll throw her to the wolves right away. Yeah.
Yes. No, take a second. Sorry.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for bearing with me for that. I haven't done an in-person PowerPoint presentation in 3 years, since COVID, basically. We do it on virtually a lot. So my name is Marissa Powers. I'm one of the auditors for the city of Prescott, and I'm here to present to you your 2021 audited financial statements and audit report. And talking with Beth, all of you should have been emailed electronically 2 documents. So the first document is the audit report and financial statements, which is what you hire us to do. It has all your financial statements and note disclosures. And then the second document is the required communication document to the board, which is essentially a letter from us as your auditors to you as a board. And it's much shorter, about 10 pages long. A lot of it is high level, heavy language, but the gist of it is a letter from us to you as a board, and there's some useful information in both those documents, and we do encourage the council to read both those documents in their entirety. But today we're going to go through this presentation. So these are just like highlights of what that audit report, because I think it's long. I think it's like 85 pages, so obviously it's a lot for you guys to go through. So the first part of that is just the independent audit report. So we did issue an unmodified opinion, which is a good or clean opinion. It's the opinion you guys want. It means your financial statements are free from material misstatement. The second half of that is the MD&A, or management discussion and analysis. That part is probably the part you guys will find most useful as a council. It's more detailed, kind of what's going on with the city, and kind of talks about future projects, future plans, and it's about 5 pages long, and I encourage you to read that if you don't read anything else in the audit report, because again, it is 85 pages. The next half of that, you get into the basic financial statements, or the face of the financial statements. The first one is the government-wide financial statements, which is the whole city-wide, the business type and government-wide. And it does have a full accrual basis of accounting, meaning it has long-term debt and long-term assets on it. And then the second part of those face financial statements, or basic financial statements, are the fund financial statements, which it contains the financial statements on the individual fund levels. So like your general fund, your TIF districts, every fund has their own column. The different type of governmental funds you have several major funds, and they included this year the general fund, TIF 5, and capital improvements fund, and then you had a bunch of non-major funds. The business type funds were the water, sewer, and stormwater. And then the difference in accounting, I kind of just explained that the government-wide has long-term debt, whereas the fund statements, it's recorded as an expenditure, and so on. Then the third half of that audit report is the notes to the financial statements. This is what makes up the bulk of the audit report. It's just basically everything that backs up those numbers that are in the face of the statements, and just goes into more detail of things. And then the required supplementary information, the RSI, gives you your budget to actual comparisons of the general fund, your Wisconsin retirement schedules, which are required per our accounting standards, and the combining non-major fund statements. So this is the required audit communications to the city council. Again, this is the letter from us as your auditor. It just communicates different items we want you guys to be aware of. It does have a full listing of all the audit adjustments we provided that are reflected in the city's books. All those audit adjustments should be the last several pages of that document. We did have one finding, material weakness, which was for material audit adjustments. We did have to adjust several account balances. Normal things, like I think we had to make a big entry because you closed your TIF district, and just moving things around and getting things closed out of that. So this is just a very summarized version. Sorry, do you have a question?
Yeah, do those material findings start on page 8 of the...
Required communication document?
Yeah.
They might. It should be labeled 2021-001. It might start on page more like 3 or 4, I'm thinking. Because you're probably looking at the management letter comments.
Yes.
So the material weakness will be a couple pages before that.
Okay.
I'm guessing, yeah, it's probably on page 3 or 4.
It's on page 3.
Oh, we were just looking for it.
I have it already, guys, so that should be right after that, Maureen. This one?
Yeah.
Basically, right underneath that is, so it's on page, this is on page.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
So this, again, is just very high level for general fund. It very much summarizes it. So for general fund, for 2021, you had total assets of approximately 6 million. Total liabilities and deferred inflows, approximately 2.7 million. And the ending fund balance, approximately 3.3 million. Again, we're just dealing with the general fund here. This is a detail of the general fund balance into the different categories. You did have non-spendable fund balance, approximately 5,000, assigned fund balance of 163,000, and unassigned fund balance of 3.1 million. And the second little chart there is a summarized income statement of the general fund budget to actual. So you budgeted revenues in 2021 of 2.7 million, actual audit numbers of 2.9 million, expenditures budgeted of 2.8 million, and actual expenditures of 2.8 million, other financing sources uses of approximately 50,000, and other financing sources uses actual of 164,000. So the net change in fund balance for budget that you budgeted for was a decrease of 50,000, an increase, the actual is 288,000. Again, this is just a breakdown of that general fund balance. So in that non-spendable category, you had the delinquent personal property taxes and the prepaid expenses. And then in the assigned fund balance is the vacation and sick leave. So the non-spendable fund balance are things that you can't spend your money on. Like the prepaid expenses you've already paid for, so you don't have that money. And then the assigned fund balance is assigned by you as a council. Or actually, no. Yes, assigned by you as a council. You take action to assign that. And again, total ending fund balance of 3.3 million. We go on to all the fund balances. So you guys have a lot of funds. So the special revenue fund, there's a lot of funds in there. And the total special revenue fund balances, the ending at 2021 was approximately 610,000. The capital projects funds, which includes the TIF funds, the ending fund balance was 1.8 million, and the debt service fund was approximately 84,000. Again, these are just the ending fund balances. And I'll have you note that that Affordable Housing Fund, the ARPA Recovery Fund, and the K-9 Fund were all new funds in 2021. Now we're on to the proprietary funds, or the utilities. So your water utility had an operating loss with the tax equivalent in it of approximately 347,000. It looks like I looked into that. That loss this year was due to that water tower maintenance project. Sewer had a net income of 317,000, and stormwater had net income of approximately 33,000. Again, with the utilities, this is just their statement of cash flows summarized. So water had a net decrease in cash of 296,000, sewer increase in cash of 718,000, and stormwater increase in cash of approximately 10,000. If anyone has any questions at any time, feel free to jump in and stop me if I'm going too fast. Okay, this is just a trend analysis of that utility operating income. As you can see, that water did have that decrease this year. Sewer, slight decrease from 2020, but very comparable to 2019. And then stormwater was very comparable to 2020. This is the general fund and debt service expenditures for the last 5 years. I think they say that's really, really small. But the categories, overall categories for the general fund are general government, public safety, public works, health and human services, culture and recreation, conservation and development, capital outlay, and then debt service is that last line. In 2021, the general fund debt service had total expenditures approximately 3.5 million. In that little chart, it's kind of hard to tell which one's which, I guess, it's so small. But between 2020 and 2021, those lines there, they're very comparable, and there was no major change or shift in trends between 2020 and 2021. This is just another way to look at the same general fund and debt service expenditures. This is just a breakout of the makeup of them for 2021 and 2022. In 2021, public safety was approximately 41%, public works 22%, general government 14%, debt service 19%, Conservation and development, less than 1%. Culture and recreation, approximately 5%. And health and human services, less than 1%. And even if you can't see which is which on those charts, you can see that they're very comparable, the makeup of the breakout of expense classifications. This chart shows your general fund revenues for the last 5 years. In 2021, the general fund had total revenues just shy of $3 million. And as you can see, between 2020 and 2021, those last two dots there, it's fairly comparable. No huge swings in general fund revenues in the categories. This is just a breakout of those same revenues. Looking at the pie charts, you can see that they're very, very comparable. Taxes made up 50% of that approximately $3 million of revenues. Intergovernmental revenues, approximately 24%. Regulation and compliance was 6%, which includes your license, permits, fines, and penalties. Public charges for services was approximately 15%, and then your miscellaneous was 4%. This is your general obligation debt versus capacity, so your debt limit versus your GO debt you actually have outstanding. In 2021, you had a GO debt limit of approximately $21.4 million. Outstanding GO debt, approximately $10.5 million. So your percent of availability was approximately 51%. And then your equalized value, you had growth of approximately $18 million, which was growth of approximately 4.37%. And in 2021, that increase in the red line, orange red line there, was for the TIF 5 bonds that were issued in 2021. This is a trend analysis of your property taxes for the last 3 years, just for the city's share of the taxes. So in 2021 here, I mean 2021 collected in 2022 was approximately $3.7 million. And if you look at that chart, all those lines look very comparable, besides that TIF 3 district, which was closed in 2021. This is just a breakout of the property tax roll. So this is the whole tax roll. It includes the school and the county. So the 2021 collected in 2022, the local school had 39% of that. The county had 19%. The city TIF districts had 14%. The city general fund had 25%. The tech college had 3%. And then all the other categories were less than 1%, which included like special assessments, charges, delinquent utility, recycling fees, and such. And this is the last slide, but this goes back to the government-wide, the big financial statement. You'll see it's the first financial statement you see on the audit report. Again, it's for the whole city. This is the one that's full accrual. So this is abbreviated numbers for the statement of activities, which is basically the income statement. So the total government activities funded by general revenues was approximately $1.6 million, and then the total general revenues were approximately $4.6 million, which that includes, as you can see, the property taxes, student governmental revenues, special items transfers, and such. It's always a lot of information very quickly thrown at council members and board members. But does anyone have any questions regarding the audit, regarding anything I just went through? I know it's a little hard because always after the fact, we're already past, but what can you do? We're 2021, got to get it audited, but overall, Prescott's a good client to work with. The staff are very easy to work with, so. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you. You do a better job presenting that than I do. So.
Okay, the next item on the agenda Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought we were on the management letter comments. It says contingency budget lines for additional expenditures that were not part of the original budget. We recommend that when contingency funds are used, the formal budget amendments be made. I thought we were doing that.
We were doing approvals,
Oh.
which you'll see next month. Well, the council meeting in December will be coming back for a full budget amendment this year to cover that stuff.
Oh.
So everything was approved. We just didn't go through the formal process of
Changing
the budget. Yep.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, the next item on the agenda is Resolution 33-22, awarding the bid for the boat launch and fishing dock to River City Welding Incorporated in the amount of $170,300. Greg, you want to take that, please?
So bids were opened on October 6th for the boat launch dock and the fishing dock projects. There was one bidder, it was River City Welding. They were the same contractor that did the public access dock. The total was $170,300. I had kind of looked at a prorated length of dock based on the courtesy dock that was put in 2021. I was coming up with roughly maybe $200,000 as an estimate. So I thought at $170,300, I thought it was in line with that. And based on that and the fact that we've worked with this contractor in the past and have had a good experience with him, felt comfortable recommending that award.
I would make the motion to approve Resolution 33-22, awarding the bid for the boat launch and fishing dock to River City Welding, Inc. in the amount of $170,300.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 33-22 for the bid for the boat launch and the fishing dock to River City Welding. Any questions on the motion?
Just if we can refresh my memory, once this is done, what are we looking at timeline? It's probably not at this fall. It's the next spring.
The contractor has indicated if they are still able to get in the water and they don't have it to deal with ice, they'd like to get started still this year. No guarantees, but that is what they'd like to do.
Okay. Yeah. Right. And the mussels or clams have been.
Those are the last.
That's been, the mussel survey and relocation has been done. So there were a lot, and there were a couple of federally endangered species that were found, and the person that the city had contracted with, a very capable firm, and they had a lot of connections and got that expedited, I thought, fairly quickly with the federal Fish and Wildlife agencies. So with their experience, I think helped a lot.
Do we have to remove the endangered species to a new location, or?
They have been.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I wondered about that.
Any discussion on the motion? Not all, let's see, do roll call. Bailey?
Aye.
Maureen?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
All right, motion passed. Thank you very much, thanks. Greg? Okay, the next item on the agenda is
So excited.
The fishing permit.
the farmland lease agreement between the city of Prescott and Jeff Cosine. Want to take that, Matt?
Yes, so currently we rent 110 acres outside of the city in farmland. This contains the compost site, which is excluded from the lease itself, with to Jeff Cosine for farming. He's been doing it for quite a long time, from what I understand. That lease currently runs out on December 31st of 2022. We did work with Mr. Cosine to extend the lease, which is before you tonight. It does raise the rent for next year to $14,400 from the original $11,000 for 2023, and additionally, it has an annual increase of 2.8% moving forward. It does allow either party to terminate agreement with a 30-day notice, with the stipulation that if for some reason ever the city wants to sell or terminate the portion while the tenant has crops in the land or in the ground, we would be reimbursing them at the agreed upon rate within the agreement. Kind of standard, similar to what we did with our land that we own of Sears, the former Sears property with Mr. Most. It's just basically updating the agreement, and we worked with Mr. Cosine. He has signed the agreement, which is in your packet tonight. Just bring it to council for consideration.
Motion to approve the farmland lease agreement between the city of Prescott and Jeffrey Cosine.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve the farmland lease agreement. Are there any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 34-22. That is a resolution commending Jane Brand for dedicated service for the city of Prescott. I will read that. Whereas Jane Brand was appointed by the Council of Service City Clerk and previously a city administrator of the city of Prescott, and whereas Jane has displayed true dedication to her position, outstanding leadership, sincere concern for all citizens of the city of Prescott, and devotion for the common good of Prescott. Now therefore, upon motion duly made, second and passed by a majority vote, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Prescott, Jane is commended for the 24 years of dedicated service you have given to the City of Prescott and its residents. We will all wish you great health and success in your endeavors. Dated this day, 24th of October, 2022, by Mayor Robert Doherty.
Motion to approve Resolution 34-22.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. Thank you. Next time, no closed session. Other business, Fire and EMS Association intergovernmental meeting, Wednesday, October 26th at 7 o'clock.
At the fire hall or here?
Where's that?
The fire hall.
At the fire
At the fire
hall.
hall, okay. I'll be there.
Is there any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Just
Hang on.
Oh,
wanna
beat Matt.
just to note, the West Central Biosolids is having their annual meeting of all members November 10th at 6 p.m. at the Phoenix Grill and Event Center. If there are council members who are interested in joining, they do invite all councils. Just wanted to make that aware. If anybody wants to join, please let me know and I can pass it along to them as well. But
Any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
I know.